I was late for work again. The sky was still yawning, and the streets were mostly empty. My boss had already warned me twice. One more delay, and I was out. So, I walked fast, my tattered bag in one hand, a half-eaten bread roll in the other. Just before the old bridge on Gully Road, I saw a figure. Half on the pavement, half in the mud. My first instinct was to keep walking. I had no time. And honestly, that area was full of drunkards. It was never worth stopping. But something tugged at me. A quiet voice in my chest. With a sigh, I walked over. The man was young, maybe in his mid-20s. His clothes were far too fine for this part of town. Even caked in dirt, his watch had an unmistakable shine. He groaned as I got closer. "You alive?" I asked, nudging him gently. "Water," he whispered. His lips were cracked. Seas didn't look drunk. He looked hurt, exhausted. I helped him sit up, gave him the last of my water, and without a second thought, I put his arm over my shoulder. It was foolish, I know. A total stranger. But his voice sounded so lost, so fragile. I couldn't just leave him there. Come to my tiny apartment, one cramped room with a fan that squeaked as if protesting its own existence. I cleaned his wounds, gave him some leftover rice, and let him sleep on my mattress. By noon, he finally woke up properly. "Where am I?" he asked, his voice clearer now. "My place," I said. "You collapsed on Gully Road." I just helped. He blinked, studying me with an intensity that made me a little uncomfortable. "You didn't ask who I was," he said. I just shrugged. Didn't think it mattered. He laughed softly, a dry sound. Most people would have searched my pockets first. Honestly, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind. When he was strong enough to stand, he said, "I owe you more than you know." G saved me when no one else would have cared. Before he left, he asked for my name and the name of my workplace. I gave him both, not sure why he wanted them. He thanked me again and disappeared down the street. I really didn't expect to ever see him again. A week later, I arrived at work and the whole building was buzzing. People were gathered near the entrance, whispering, fixing their hair, adjusting their clothes like they were expecting royalty. "What's going on?" I asked my coworker, "Mira, you didn't hear." She said, her eyes wide. "The Crown Prince is visiting today." Something about a surprise announcement. The Crown Prince. The one whose face was on every billboard. The one who was supposed to be changing things for people like me. I tried to stay calm, but my heart started thudding. Could it be? No, that was impossible. Just then, my manager rushed toward me, his face panicked. "You!" he snapped. "Why aren't you dressed properly? And where were you yesterday?" I was sick enough. "If you mess up today, you're finished." We all lined up as a fleet of luxurious black cars pulled up. Guards stepped out first, followed by a tall figure in a crisp royal blue suit. My breath caught in my throat. It was him! The stranger from Gully Road. He walked directly toward me, smiling a smile that could warm an entire winter. "There you are," he said, stopping right in front of me. My coworkers stared. My manager looked like he was about to faint. "Your Highness, you know her?" he stammered out. "Yes," the prince said, his voice ringing clear. "She saved my life." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The prince continued. "I was attacked on my way back from an unannounced inspection. Had she not helped me, I might not be standing here today." My knees felt weak. He turned back to me and said, "To repay the kindness you showed me." Before I could even think of protesting, he announced to everyone, from this day forth, she will work directly under the royal administration at a salary 3 times her current one. And I will personally sponsor her education, should she wish to study further. I didn't know whether to cry or laugh. The prince leaned closer and whispered, so only I could hear. You didn't ask who I was. You helped because you chose to. That kind of heart is rare. And I want to make sure it never goes unnoticed again. It's been 3 years since that morning I found a stranger lying on Gully Road. I now live in a spacious home with polished floors and windows that just drink in the sunlight. I work as a coordinator for several royal community programs aimed at lifting people out of poverty, something I understand all too well. Sometimes, during our official meetings, the prince will catch my eye and give me a subtle nod, as if to remind me, your kindness changed your destiny. But I always think to myself, no, it changed his, too. View, because if there's one truth I've learned from all of this, it's this. A single, simple moment of compassion can turn an ordinary life into a story worth telling for generations. Never underestimate the power of a helping hand. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.